Before we dive in, there's going to be an exclusive link down below for sakitech viewers, which is going to get you $150 instant Samsung credit instead of the $100 everyone else is getting. And also, you will get free double storage capacity when you order the S24 Ultra. Links down below, limited time deal. Hey guys, Sak here from sakitech, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So I've been using this phone for almost 72 hours, and I want to give you guys my initial impressions and my initial review of this smartphone. I am highly impressed, but there's also some quirks I want to talk about, so let's dive in and get started right away. Alright, first let's quickly talk about the design of this phone. I do like the brand new flat display area with no curves on the actual screen. Now there is some curve around the edges of the product, but the curve itself does not apply to the actual display area. And if you look at the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, the curves actually were cutting into the display area. So that's one difference. We have a completely flat viewing area, which I think is a step in the right direction. The other thing I want to talk about is the titanium finish and the new colors. I do like the new colors. They are fitting of a phone that has the name S24 Ultra. And of course, they also have exclusive colors on Samsung's website if you want to go with more exclusive colors. And remember, the links are going to be down below with the best incentives and the lowest pricing to get this phone. But one thing I really appreciate is the fact that we now have titanium around the edges. Now, titanium itself is not the actual big deal. I just like the brushed, smooth finish of titanium. So there's no shine. It is a matte finish. And what we have is we have matte finish on the rear. We have matte finish on the sides. And that allows for minimum fingerprint retention, which is something I always like. Now, talking about less shine, there's one more thing that is really amazing on this phone, and that's the display. As you know, the peak brightness has been jumped to 2600 nits of brightness. Side by side with an iPhone, which has a peak brightness of 6000, it looks so much better, especially when you're watching movies on Netflix. Look at how much more brighter the S24 Ultra looks at maximum brightness versus the maximum brightness of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But additionally, the display is now made out of Gorilla Glass armor, which is 75% less reflective. So if there's any light that is directly hitting the display, it is going to be 75% less reflective. Now what that means is the display is able to maintain its clarity and brightness better under bright conditions and also under reflective conditions. Many times when you use your phone, the reflection of other objects gets in the way of being able to look at that screen. With this new display, that has been reduced drastically. It is also better than the S23 Ultra in that respect. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with the S Pen. Now, the S Pen functionality remains the same. There's nothing new on the S Pen front. You still can take notes. You still can do sketches. You can even create a masterpiece if that's what you want. But all the S Pen functions are the same as the S23 Ultra and the S22 Ultra. There is one thing you can do with the S Pen. It can be used to activate the Circle to Search function. But Circle to Search function itself has nothing to do with the S Pen, but because you can use the S Pen to control and navigate the device, you are able to use the Circle to Search function with the actual S Pen. This is most likely something that's going to trickle down to the older models with a software update anyway. Now, Circle to Search function is an AI feature, and this phone has a lot of AI features. So let's quickly talk about that. The thing with these AI features that are going to be found under the advanced intelligence section of the phone is that some of these guys might be useless to you. Some of them might be very useful to you. So as an example, for me, the Circle to Search function I think is very useful for research. I can circle anything on the screen and it's going to get me results directly from Google. So that basically just saves me time. I don't have to go to google.com and search for something. If I see something, I wonder what that is, I just circle that, I got results immediately. So that's a great feature I will be using. Another feature I'll be using, Samsung Notes AI features, where I can type a paragraph. Let's say I'm writing a script for a video, I just ramble some stuff down, and then I can go into notes and I can have the notes using AI create a coherent summary or even a coherent script for me in the form of headers and bullets, as you can see. That is going to save me time because I'm not going to be wasting time on organizing what I wrote. I just write down my ramblings and I let the Samsung AI create the organized version I can actually apply in real life. On the flip side, there are other features like the translation feature that for me personally have no benefit because 99.9% of the time I'll be talking English. And the people I talk to also speak English. So for me, there is no need for translation. But again, for you, if you are traveling and you need access to translation services, real-time translation services using AI, that option is built in there. So that's the story with AI. You have all these functions. Not all of them might be beneficial to you, but I think at least half of them are going to be beneficial. So that's the story with the AI. I do believe these are some great features to have. If you need them, they're there. If you don't need them, they're still there. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with the speed of this product. So in terms of processing, it has seen a big jump. The new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor is a powerful processor. We're looking at a 25 to 30% increase in performance compared to the last gen, which is the S23 Ultra with Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So you are going to be seeing a definitive improvement in performance. And this is going to help you because it also works with AI features, makes them faster. Editing photos is going to be faster. Editing and creating videos is going to be faster. Games are going to be slightly more smoother and all that good stuff. Now, when you look at the hard drive, the built-in solid state drive in these smartphones, you can see that the write performance of the S24 Ultra has also increased over the S23 Ultra. So not only do you have a faster processor, you also have a faster hard drive. Even though on the hard drive side, the differences are not that dramatic, the S23 Ultra is still very fast when it comes to read and write speeds are concerned in relation to the hard drive. But when it comes to performance, of course, there's a bigger, more dramatic improvement. But overall, it is faster in every category. And that's something some people might love. I also want to talk about the battery life. So the battery life actually has improved significantly. I have seen a bunch of tests where the S24 Ultra has beaten even the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is insane, and it offers 1 to 2 or even more hours of battery life compared to the S23 Ultra. And based on my own usage the last 3 days, I noticed that the battery drains really slowly. So you're going to get guaranteed longer battery life with the S24 Ultra on par with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which remember was the industry leader up until this phone came out. Now they are, I think, at the same level. Some tests the iPhone creeps up and some tests the S24 Ultra creeps up. So I think they're approximately in the same range of battery life, which is amazing. Full day of battery after a full charge, and then you have leftovers for the next day. So battery life, fantastic. Now I do want to talk about a few things about the camera. First and foremost, for the last 5 days, it's been snowing like crazy. So I was not able to go out and do some deep camera shooting. But this camera basically is nearly identical to the S23 Ultra. S23 camera is already an extreme camera. The S24 becomes even more extreme. And I'll give you some details. When you go to the photo, now we can only go up to 5 times optical zoom, while previously we could go to 10 times optical zoom. However, the AI that's working in this camera makes the 10x just as good or even better than the previous 10x on the S23 Ultra. Also, when you go to video, and if you were to select 4K at 60, as I'm recording a video, you can see I can switch between various lenses that you cannot do on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And the reason this might be important is if you shoot a lot of video using 4K on your smartphone, you now have the capability to switch lenses on the fly while you're recording. Something like this helps me a lot because I shoot a lot of B-roll for my videos using my smartphone. There's also a lot of other enhancements under the hood. So for example, if I go to more, and if I go to Pro Video Mode, you can see that if I go over here at 4K, I can even shoot up to 120 frames per second, which is insane. But stay tuned for a deeper camera test. So the camera has become even better with additional options. So those are my initial impressions and initial review of this phone. I think it's an amazing phone. There's no question about that. The S23 Ultra, I think, already was the best Android smartphone in 2023, and the S24 Ultra simply improves on the S23, so most likely this is going to be the best phone in 2024 in the Android world. I have very little doubt about that, but the new design is great with titanium matte finish all over. We've got these new AI features. You can select the ones you like and use them, and they will actually benefit you in real life. You've got the faster processing, which you do need for the AI to work as fast as possible, and definitive improvements in battery life that I think a lot of people will appreciate, and the camera still as good as ever. The only thing is the phone is now $100 more expensive. However, during the pre-order phase, they have a lot of incentives to get this phone at the lowest possible pricing, but with maximum incentives. Again, the links are going to be down below. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below as well. And for now, guys, have a fantastic day.